Okay, so let's go and practicalize how VLAN operates, how VLAN works. Let's go and practicalize that. So now, actually, this concept is usually achieved by tying switch ports to a particular VLAN by the word tie, by tying, okay, the word tie, by tying a particular switch port to a VLAN that you have created. So let's say this is our switch. Let's say this is our switch. And our switch has, for instance, let's say it has 16 ports, for instance. We have eight aside. Let me draw this very well. So let's say this is our switch. This is the switch that we bought to do VLAN. So it has 16 ports. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 aside. So now, and we have, let's say we have 5 departments. And we want each department to be in a VLAN. That means we have VLAN, right? In 5 VLANs, right? So now, how are we going to achieve this? That means certain ports will be tied to a particular VLAN. So let's say we have configured VLAN 10, VLAN 20, VLAN 30, VLAN 40, and VLAN 50. Okay, we can say port 1 to 3, they should be assigned to VLAN 10. Okay, they should be assigned to VLAN 10, meaning any devices plugged to port 1 to 3 should be in VLAN 10. Don't worry, we'll go and practicalize this now. Okay, so all these systems, all these 3 systems, they are in VLAN 10. They are in VLAN 10. Okay, we can say ports 4 to 5, they should be in VLAN. They should be in VLAN. They should be in VLAN 20. Okay, meaning all the systems that will be connected, to these 3 ports, port 4, 5, and 6, they will be in VLAN 20. Okay, they will be in VLAN 20. So we can say these ports, let's say this is port 9, 11, 12. Okay, any device that are connected to this port, they are in another VLAN, they are another network. Okay, that's what we go and do on the switch right now. Okay, so this is another network. Okay, so these people are in VLAN 30. Okay, we can say these 2 ports, ports 15 and 16, let them be in VLAN 40. In VLAN 40. Okay, so these are different LAN that you are creating, and they are all separate network on the switch that they can't interact, they cannot communicate unless you get a router to achieve the communication, or a layer 3 switch. So let's say this one, these 3 ports, let's say they will be in VLAN 50, for instance. So any system you connect to these 3 ports will be in VLAN 50. Okay. So let's go and see how to assign a port to a VLAN, okay, on the switch. How to assign a VLAN, how to assign a port, how to assign a port to a VLAN, how to configure a VLAN, and how to assign a port to it. Let's go and do it in our packet tracer. So this is our switch. Let's go and open a new packet tracer. Okay, so this is a new packet tracer. So like we said, we are making use of just one switch to achieve 5 VLANs inside the same switch. Okay, so this is the switch, and let's say each of the VLAN we have 3 hosts. So we have 1, 2, 3. Okay, for each of the hosts. Okay, so this is a department. Another department, we have their own 3 hosts. We have their own 3 hosts. Another department, we have their own 3 hosts, 3 hosts, 3 hosts. Okay. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, they will all be in different VLAN, okay, and they will have different network address. So now let's connect. Okay, don't let us connect yet. Let's go and configure our switch in such a way that, let me clean this. This switch that I brought out on packet tracer, this switch is a 24-port switch. It has 24 ports, faster than a 001, 0202 down to 24. It has 24 ports. So now let's assume this is the switch. So this is what we want to do. So let's say this is the switch. It has 24 ports, right? It has 24 ports. Okay, so let's assume this is the switch. It has 24 ports, port 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, down to port 24, right? So now, let's say we want to create 5 VLANs, 5 departments. Okay, 5 VLAN to represent our 5 departments. All what we need to do is that, let's see how many people in each department and assign ports to each of the VLAN. So this is what we do. Let's say ports 1 to 4 will be responding to VLAN 10. Okay. Let's say ports 7 to 10, let's give it to VLAN 20. And let's say ports 19 to 21 goes to VLAN 30. Okay, let's say port remain 2 departments. Port 22 to 24 goes to VLAN 40, and let's say port 11, 12, 13, 14 goes to VLAN 50. Okay, so let's go and do this. Let's go and implement this. So that any system connected to any of the VLANs will be on different network. Okay, will be on different network connected to any of these ports. Connected to any of these ports will be on different network. Okay, that is what we want to achieve. Any system, this will be in a VLAN 40, another network entirely. So that is what we want to achieve. So let's go and implement this. So for the VLAN 10, we are using ports 1 to 4, right? So let's go to our Cisco switch. Let's go to our Cisco switch. We will first need to configure all the VLANs as we will need. So we need VLAN 10. We need VLAN 20. We need VLAN. I'm configuring VLAN. I'm configuring VLAN already. Just type the command to configure a VLAN. The command to configure a VLAN is just type VLAN and mention the tag number, VLAN 40, and we have a VLAN 15. Okay. I have 5 VLANs now, VLAN 10, 20, 30, 40, and 50. To confirm that, just type the command called show VLAN brief. Okay, this will show you the VLAN that you just configured. Okay, so these are the VLAN. So now let me explain this. By default, a switch out of the bus, if you bring the switch out of the bus and you plug it to your socket and you on it, by default, that's what I mean by default. By default, all the port on a switch is by default configured to be in VLAN 1. All the ports on a switch, if you buy a new switch today, all the ports on that switch, they are in VLAN 1. All those ports are in VLAN 1. They are all in VLAN 1 by default. That is why everybody connected to a switch port can communicate by default. Okay, that's why you bring any system connected to any of the switch ports, they can communicate. Okay, so now take note of that. So when I do show VLAN brief, that is why you see that VLAN 1, they call it default. It is the default, and all the ports are under VLAN 1, as you can see. So now let's go and start assigning port to the VLANs that we just created. By the way, you can change the name of your VLAN. Let me quickly do that. I can say config VLAN 10. VLAN 10. I can say name. You can name it accounting department. Okay, there should be no space between the name. And VLAN 20, name admin department. VLAN 30, I'm giving name to those VLAN that we created. Name it HR department. Okay, let's say VLAN 40, let's call it security. And let's say VLAN, okay, I did a mistake. Put name, security department. And let's say VLAN 50 is a procurement department. Procurement. Okay, so we have 5 different departments on different network now on the same switch. So if you do our command show VLAN brief again, you will see the name of what we just did. Can you see? You make it more meaningful now, but there is no port assigned to them. Okay, that is why you can't see any port here. So let's go and assign our port. So now from here, let's say our VLAN 10, which is our VLAN 10, let's say it will be the one that will stand for accounting department. Okay, so any port plugged to 1, 2, 3, 4, they are in accounting department. They are on that network. Okay, so this is what we do. Go to your switch and say, go to config terminal mode. Say interface range. Normally, we're supposed to be doing this one after the other. I can say interface fast Ethernet 0/1. Okay, let me just do it for one port. Then I will use the range command. So let me say interface fast Ethernet 0/1. First and foremost, we have to change the mode of that port. So you say switch port mode. Okay, switch port mode access. Press enter. Let me explain what this command means. A switch port can either be in access mode or trunk mode. Okay, access mode, when a switch port is in access mode, it means that switch port is dedicated for connection to an endpoint, maybe to a laptop, to a server, okay? It's for endpoints. Okay, and that switch port will only respond to the VLAN that is configured on it, that it is tied to. Okay, that's the endpoint for connection to endpoints. So this can be server, this can be printer, this can just think of all these endpoints, laptop, desktop. Okay, that is for access when the switch port is in access mode. The second mode that a switch port can be is trunk mode. Trunk mode is for switch port that is going to be connected to another switch. If you are plugging 2 switches together and you have different VLAN in that environment, let's say you have 2 switches like this. Let's say I want to plug this switch to this switch, for instance. I want to plug this switch to this switch, for instance. This port and this port must be in trunk mode, okay? In case you have different VLAN in the environment, so that all the VLAN can be communicating through this link, okay? Just note that a link between 2 switches, whereby you have different VLAN on a network, the switch port mode must be in trunk because you are using it to connect 2 switches. So, and I said the link that you use to connect endpoint, for instance, this desktop here to the switch, the mode of this port should be in access mode. Okay. from my explanation, access mode is for endpoints, while trunk mode is for connection to another switch when you are connecting to another switch. So take note of that. So now that is the reason why, because I will be connecting this my switch ports, this is my switch ports past Ethernet 01 to a host, to a desktop. That is why I make sure it is in access mode. So that's the meaning of this command, switch port mode access. So now let's now tie it to a VLAN. You will say switch ports access VLAN. We are putting in the VLAN 10. Switch ports access VLAN 10. It is now in VLAN 10. So this switch port is now tied to VLAN 10. That means it can only respond to traffic in VLAN 10 network. Okay, you just created a VLAN and a switch port is attached to it. So, by the way, a switch cannot belong to more than one VLAN at a time. Take note of that. A switch can only belong to just one VLAN at a time. Okay. So let's add. You can be doing this one after the other. You can say interface fast Ethernet 02 switch ports mode access. You can say switch ports access VLAN 10 again. So the first two ports now, they are now in VLAN 10. Okay, but because of time, I will not be doing this one. I will not like to do this one after the other. I will use a command called range command so that I can configure multiple ports at a time with this VLAN configuration. So I will say interface range fast Ethernet 0/1 to 4. So port 1 to 4 is what we are configuring now when I press enter, because I use range. Okay, so anything I do under this range, it will take effect on port 1 to 4. So I say switch ports mode access, and now say switch ports access VLAN 10. Okay, if I say show VLAN brief, can you see? This is VLAN 10, and these are the ports under VLAN 10 now. Okay, these are the ports under VLAN 10. Okay, so we just achieve this part of our task. We just achieve this part of our task, making only these 4 ports to be in VLAN 10. So we just created a virtual LAN. So let's replicate that for other VLAN. So now for VLAN 20, we say 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so ports, we will still use the same range command to achieve that. Interface range fast Ethernet 7 to 10, right? 7 to 10. Switch ports mode access. Switch ports access VLAN 20. Okay, they are now in VLAN 20. I can do this for the next one. So now VLAN 30, where's VLAN 30? That's 19, 20, 21. Okay. (19 to 21). 19 to 21. Put it in access mode access. Then switch ports access VLAN 30. They are in VLAN 30, 19 to 21. Which other one? Our 440. 440 is 22 to 24. 22 to 24. 22 to 24. Switch ports mode access VLAN 40. Okay, and the last one is VLAN 50, which is ports 11 to 14. 11 to 14. So these are your job as a network professional. Your job has nothing to do with cables. Can you see how you are bringing a design to a company whereby you are saving money for them by your expertise of configuring switches using VLAN? Okay, so let's go to, what is the range again? 11 to 14. 11 to 14. 11 to 14. So switch ports mode access. Switch port access VLAN 50. Okay, let's go to our privilege mode, Control Z. Then let's say show VLAN brief. Okay, these are the commands you'll be using when you are troubleshooting to see what a particular configuration look like. So now show VLAN brief shows. Now, VLAN 10, they now have these ports assigned to them. Can you see? VLAN 1 is reducing. We have only just few ports under VLAN 1 by default. That is the default. So now, this is our configuration. Now, all these ports are now in the respective VLAN that we configure for them. So now let's plug this system to the switch now. So now we said VLAN 1 to 4 is for VLAN 10, right? So let's plug this 3 switch to VLAN 10. So this is let me label this. I'm labeling the systems. So these people are in VLAN 40, and these people are in VLAN 50. Okay, let me change the name of okay, let me just leave it. Okay, so this is VLAN 10, this is VLAN 20, and this is VLAN 30 guys, and this is VLAN 40 guys, and we have VLAN 50 guys, different departments now. So now we said port 1 to 4, they are in VLAN 10. So go and pick a cable. We need a cable called straight through cable. Straight through cable. This is the straight through cable. Plug it. So check which of the ports. This is port 01. Pick a straight through cable. So we are plugging it according to our design. Say 1 to 4 are in VLAN 10. So these to 3. Okay, so these are in VLAN 10 now. Okay, they are in VLAN 10, meaning only people in this network can reach one another. They cannot reach any other person in the network. So let's connect our VLAN 20. We said our VLAN 20 is a 7, 8, 9, 10. 7, 8, 9, 10. So pick your cable, plug it to 7. 7, 8, come here and say 7, 8, 9, okay, 9, 10. That we have extra ports in that VLAN, so we leave it. So VLAN 30 are in 19, 20, 21. Okay, 19, 20, 21. Nineteen, 20, 2021. Okay, so we said VLAN 40 is in 22, 23, 24. 22. Let's go and do VLAN 40 is in 22, 23, 23, 24. Okay, why VLAN 50 and 19, 20, 21? No. And 11, 12, 13, 14. So 11, 12, 13, 14. 11, 12, 13, 14. 11, 12, 13, 14. So we have extra ports in that area as well. So this is a network. This is another network. This is another network. This is another network. And this is another network. Only people in this department can talk to one another. They cannot talk to other people in other departments. So let's go and test that by assigning IP address, by assigning network address to each of the VLAN. Okay, and we give this IP address to each of the system. We will do that in the next class, okay, by assigning IP address to each of the system in the VLANs. See you in the next class.